Hello, 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 friends, all of our Event Therapy Network friends. Thank you all so much for being here. We're here finally. Amen. I am so happy and so excited about today. Today is, I was about to say October, but August the 29th, and we are unveiling the fifth edition of Event Therapy Magazine. I am super grateful for it, and I'm definitely grateful for everyone who has supported us along the way. So we are just excited. Just excited. So to give people a little bit of understanding about Event Therapy Network, Event Therapy Network was created by myself, Teresa Sawyer, for the purpose of bringing awareness and focus to mental health in the events and entertainment industry. I always felt like this particular topic was something that was kind of swept under the rug or pushed behind the drapes. It was just a conversation that we were not having as much as I thought that we needed to. And not just about mental health, but also about our financial health, our physical health, our business health, all of these things. And we understand that if we are having concerns or issues with our contracts, with our finances, with anything as industry professionals, those things may lead to mental health concerns, right? And because we are in this industry as event producers and event planners and designers and entertainment professionals, our job is to entertain. So who wants us to be the ones that's dealing with something that may not necessarily be joyous, right? Or be happy. So one of the things that I wanted to do is to, stand in the gap of that stigma that all event producers or planners or designers or whomever are just happy-go-lucky all the time, or that we have it all together all the time. I want us to understand that we are human as well, and there are resources and services out there that can support us through that we may be going through. It looks like I have like a little glitch going on. But with that being said, we created Event Therapy Network for that purpose of bringing light to mental health in the events and entertainment industry, right? When the pandemic hit us, hey, pandemic, when it hit us, we were before doing workshops that were, again, focused on business, focused on all these different things, but we were not able to gather the way that we wanted to gather. So I had the bright idea of putting together a magazine where we can hit various markets and we can support more people, and we can also have our professionals to share stories. Sometimes we are supported through the stories of other people, right? Sometimes we feel like we cannot make it, but then when we hear the story of somebody else and we see that they did, or they provide you with resources or activities or services, something that helps us to keep going ourselves. And one thing about event professionals is that we are resilient, right? And so we want to make sure that we have all the support that that we need to continue to go and continue to do the jobs that we love, right? So the magazine was born, and we were able to produce our first edition in 2021, and Michelle Gainey was the cover of that issue. Since then, we have traveled to LA and brought in Mr. William P. Miller as the cover, honoring and saluting him, and honoring and saluting Michelle. And then we're back in LA and honoring and saluting Miss Monique Boyd out there at the SoFi Stadium. And so then we were able to make sure that we celebrated someone else that we felt was doing so many great things in advocacy in this industry. And Mr. Fausto was that person. So our last issue was Mr. Fausto as the cover of the magazine. So now here we are with our fifth edition, and I'm super excited to honor and support this young lady who's been doing amazing work in this industry, and also just moving along and showing people like myself that we too can keep pushing, we too can make it happen in this industry. So at this time, I'm going to welcome Dr. Judith Fletcher. Dr. Judith Fletcher is such an amazing individual who is not necessarily in events, but she helps us event planners, us producers, designers, caterers, whomever, understand that we can get contracts as well. We don't have to always do all the other stuff. We can actually get contracts. So I'm going to introduce her. She has been a major mentor for me and a support as well, and she's definitely been someone that has been supporting this magazine. So we're going to bring in Dr. Judith Fletcher. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the new cover, and I'm excited to, get to know and even meet some of the newer individuals that are going to be joining the journey. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much for bringing me along. We've been connected for so many years, and I know this has been a dream of yours. And then to see it being birthed, and for you really just getting out there and bringing professionals together. So
Yeah.
I'm super, super excited to be on this journey with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being along as well. So, talk to me a bit about why you found that it was important for you to be a part of this magazine and what it is doing for the industry.
So one of the reasons why I thought it was really important, and it started from just us being connected and mentoring you, coaching you through different aspects, and realizing that a lot of time we're passionate about certain work that we do, but when it comes to the business aspect, when it comes to the back office, and understanding that ultimately the goal is not to operate it as a hobby, but to grow, to build and grow the business and operate it as a business. And so I discovered that many people are passionate about what they're doing. Unfortunately, there are a lot of back end work that's not being taken care of. And so, as you mentioned with the pandemic, that's when a lot of people realized that their back office, their home office was not in place to really to actually take part in many of the opportunities that were afforded to individuals that were actually running a business. And so many people were running, whether it was a catering business, event planning, producing, whatever the case may be, they were passionate about what they were doing, but they didn't realize there are so many other important steps that needed to take place on the foundational level before they can truly call themselves business owners. And so that's when I was able to kind of step in and help bring to light some of the foundational steps that needed to be taken place and put in place in order to truly grow and thrive as business owners and being able to serve the individuals and helping them to find balance. And I know that also helped them to really alleviate a lot of stress, because when you're able to tap into government contracts, when you're able to serve a greater audience, that frees some of your time, because now you're able to build a team, get that support, and actually begin to run a business instead of allowing the business to run you.
Ah, that part. Yeah, that part. Before we move forward and we bring on Mr. Fausto, I want to share with everyone just one of the pages of Dr. Fletcher's story here. So she hasn't seen it either. That's just one of the pages. So her story is a life of passion, purpose, and perseverance. And so we like to have stories in our magazine. This is unveiling her story, right? So we like to have these stories in here where people can, again, read them, maybe even see themselves in it, and then find ways that they can charge up or they can, recharge. Why was it important, real quick, for you to write about your journey in Event Therapy magazine?
Because for me, having had to start over, losing everything, and so many people feel that, you go through a divorce or you find yourself faced with health scares like cancer, or even being involved in domestic violence and being a survivor. A lot of times you feel the need to kind of give up on your dreams and not wanting to move forward, but realizing that connecting with the right people, having the right support system, and being able to say, you know what, I was called to this. I was called to be this person and not give up. It was important for me to show others, especially single moms like myself, that we can have it all. We can fall and get back up. And as I was sharing, I remember when we first met, and I was like, no, my target audience is really like single moms. I discovered that it was not just single mom. It wasn't just women. Many of us find ourselves dealing with all different types of obstacles. Our world sometimes come crumbling down, and we're like, I don't have the energy, the strength, and maybe it's just time for me to give up. Maybe because of all these obstacles, it's not meant for me to actually pursue this dream that's been inside of me for so long. So finding the courage to get back up, to put the pieces back together, and then to continue to build, and then find myself being able to inspire and encourage others. People that were walking around, I met so many amazing women, fully made up, makeup, everything looking flawless. And inside they were hurting. Inside they were ready to give up. Inside they were hanging on by a thread. And then for them to just hear my story, to know that, yes, I know what it's like to be faced with health scares like cancer. I know what it's like to be a domestic violence victim and to get on the other side and become a victor. I know what it's like to have to start over as a single parent with boys. That's a lot. And know not to give up. Surrounding yourself with the right group of people, family, friends, community leaders, and knowing that there is a brighter tomorrow. So it was really important for me to just give people a reason to wake back up and continue to push.
I love that. I love that. I love that you mentioned, inspire. Event therapy is based off of three pillars, and one of them is making sure that we are inspiring each other and working together in networking and relationship sustainability and all of that. And so I think what you share in your story really brings light to how having a positive network around you when you're going through things can support you in your growth. So super excited. Thank you so much. I really hope that you like that page. That's not all the pages, but I just had to get a little sneak peek, just a little sneak of what it was that what we have
I
in
love
back
it.
for you. But thank you so much, Dr. Judith. I'm going to right now bring in the one and only Mr. Fausto. So before I bring him on, I did mention earlier that we have all these other covers, right? And I do want to share those covers with you all real quick, if you do not mind at all. Uh-oh. Let's see. So our first cover that we mentioned earlier was Michelle Gainey. That is our first cover ever for Event Therapy magazine, followed by Miss Michelle. She's the winter issue 2021. We have Mr. William P. Miller of the fall 2021 issue. Super grateful for both of them, and I think those covers look absolutely amazing. So I'm just kind of giving y'all just a little sneak peek of what you're about to see with this new cover here. And then, of course, we had Miss Monique. Oh, this was such a beautiful shot that we have of her outside, just living her life and just shining and thriving, just like Dr. Fletcher just talked about as well. And so our next cover was Mr. Fausto, or is Mr. Fausto, and I am going to show his cover right now. This was a bold and colorful cover. Absolutely loved it. It's all of his personality, and that is why we chose this photo, different from the rest, because he's just so unique. And I was so grateful that he said yes to jumping on here with me. He has definitely been my mentor through this. Him and Ruben both through this. These months of getting this magazine together, they have definitely kept me calm. Sometimes the therapist needs a therapist, right? And so here we are. So I thank you so much, Fausto. So we're going to bring you on right now, my friend. Hello.
Hello, I hope I'm not too close. I'll back up my chair a little bit.
No, you're good. You're good. We can see you really well.
I wanted to say one thing when Dr. Fletcher was on. I think her journey was a call to action because that's what I heard, and I that's what resonated with me.
Yeah, a call to action. And one of the things everyone in this magazine, they may not necessarily be an event planner or a designer, a caterer, or whomever, but everybody has a story, and I feel like we all can learn from their stories. We all can, pull something from it. So I was so happy that she was able to share this and bring some of that single parenthood into it and how that has impacted her life and where she is today. I mean, she's Dr. Fletcher. I know you can hear us, but and for those who don't know her, she's out there still supporting women like myself to make sure that we are moving along and that we are, feel supported through this business, this thing called business and entrepreneurship, especially for us who are in the event industry. So for you, Fausto, thank you so much. You have definitely supported this journey since, I believe, day one. And so I'm so happy to have you on here. Before we get into our panel, I want you to talk to the audience about why it's important for you to be a part of Event Therapy Network and our mission. Like, what is attracting you to our call to action?
I said this to you before. I think you gave us a place to actually talk about the things that we brush under the table, no pun intended, especially in the wedding industry. We don't ever talk about the seriousness that we are so busy making everybody happy around us that the number one person that we forget to make happy is ourselves. Whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's the client you've taken on, and then all of a sudden you just forget about you. And you gave us a place where we can write an article, put all those things that are inside of you that are just burning to get out, whatever it is, from stress or panic attacks to alcoholism. For me, I'll be forever grateful because you actually gave Ruben an outlet to actually write about his alcoholism. And we didn't know how that was going to affect the business, and he talked about it on stage. And that's a forever grateful moment I have for you, because he put pen to paper and you allowed him that sort of that vessel. So for me, the event industry desperately needs it. And it's pre-COVID. I mean, this goes back to 9/11 and the recession and all of that, the things that have been sort of kind of boiling under the radar without anybody actually realizing it until COVID hit, is when we actually started uniting as an industry.
Yeah, that's so. Thank you. I'm glad that Ruben was able to do that and feel comfortable in doing so. And you have also spoken or written in our magazine about anxiety, and what does that look like as an event professional, as someone who is about to go in, produce a major event? What does that look like? What do I do with these emotions that I'm receiving or that I have right now before I walk into an event that I'm helping them to be joyous, right? To entertain these people. And so I'm grateful that you were able to speak about that openly. And that is one of the major points of the magazine. I want people, when feeling comfortable, to share their stories, because again, you never know what your story can do to save somebody else's life, just to be honest with you. Whether that be talking about alcoholism, whether it be talking about, grief, suicide, any of these things, that again, we often sweep behind the rug or push behind the drapes because of maybe the fear that someone is not going to book us or hire us as event producers or planners or caterers or whomever, because we're dealing with something, as if we're different from others.
And there you said it, the stigma of not being hired or not getting that job, or even your peers looking at you differently because you have opened this sort of kind of door that nobody wanted to talk about. And so that we're all going to should be forever grateful to you, because you have given us that with the magazine. And it's a place where we can talk about it, because not only is the magazine there, but you are now expanding it onto stages.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Real quick. Am I going out? I just want to kind of do a
Briefly.
check real quick. Connection check. You all able to hear me? So.
It's cutting in and out.
Oh man, what's going on?
Is the storm hitting in your area, the hurricane?
Well, not right now. I mean, we definitely been raining and storming yesterday, but right now it's just cloudy. Let me know if you all are able to hear me now.
Better.
Okay, very good, very good. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, here we go. So, but I heard everything you said, and I know the audience did too, as well. So here we are, So events be eventing. That's what it is, right? So thank you so much, Fausto. I'm gonna bring you back on as well. But I want to introduce some of our contributors of Event Therapy Magazine, 5th edition, AA. And our first one is the lovely, again, we talked about event therapy having pillars, and one is the financial health. And we wanted someone in this edition to talk a little bit more and give us some tips, some tangible tips that we can use as event professionals, to so that we understand business and we understand finances a bit more. And we had the perfect person to do so. And we're going to welcome the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soror of mine, Miss Dickens. There
Hello,
she
hello,
is.
hello.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm great. I'm great. And thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I want you to first just introduce yourself, and of course, I got to show you something.
Okay.
Eyebrows raised, right? So, introduce yourself to our audience and let everybody know what it is that you do, but more so, also like what did you write in the magazine?
Okay. So, first of all, thank you so much for having me for this big moment of the big unveiling. And I'm Terrell Dinkins. I am a best-selling author. I get to say that. Yes. I am a wealth empowerment speaker. I love motivating people because one of my passions is to close the wealth gap. I'm an entrepreneur. I own 2 companies. I own a registered investment advisor firm, and I also own a company, One Bucket Nation. And through One Bucket Nation, I write my books. I give motivational talks on wealth building, and that's what I talked about in your magazine. I was able to share some of the tips that these are true tips that have helped me. These are tips that I've done in my life. And as I said in the article, these were my tips, my wealth building tips that actually helped me. And one of your pillars is money and finance. And we all know that when our money's not straight, we don't sleep well at night. We don't sleep well at night. So I was able to kind of provide um, my personal top 8 wealth building tips in the magazine.
And there
Oh,
they
look at that. The cover. I love it. Oh my God, it looks great.
Yes. And so we absolutely love that you gave us 8 tips. So whoever's watching this right now, you want to get the magazine because you want to make sure you get all of them. Here you see a couple, right? So you want to make sure you get the magazine, and you can go to our website, eventtherapynetwork.com, and go to shop, and you'll be able to go ahead and order the magazine. But this we absolutely love. We actually put the top 8 like on the cover as well. You will see that. But because we think it's important for us as industry professionals to understand our money, because like you said, if your money isn't right, you don't always sleep well, right? And you also push yourself to, doing things and accepting clients that you don't really need to be accepting. We sometimes get afraid to say no because we don't have our money together. And so each one of these magazines that we do, we want to make sure that we are always talking about how to handle our money. And I just thought it was great because I have your book. I thought it would be great to have you to be a part of this issue. So again, if you're watching this, and even if you're not watching this right now, make sure you grab the magazine because she gives us some slamming tips, things that we can do, 8 of them. All 8. Okay, 8. I'm doing 10, but it's 8. But you can grab some things from that and really help you to support that. Eliminate credit card debt, baby. That right there is one of the most important things for me, is just making sure that I'm doing those things. So this is your first page, Miss D.
I love it. I love it. And people, based on what I'm seeing, this magazine is packed full of everything that's going to help you. So make sure you pick up a copy.
It is. So there you go. So again, thank you so much to Terrell. I keep calling you Miss Dinkins. Thank you so much for being a part. And I'm just really grateful for all the information that you share with our audience, and we welcome you back. We definitely welcome you to be go live with us on Instagram to go deeper into what you talked about in the issue. Okay.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome, awesome. So now we're going to go to one of my new ET friends who's also a contributor of Event Therapy Magazine, 5th issue, Miss Leah Weinberg. I'm super excited to have her on too to talk about her article as well. We met from Megan. And so here is Leah.
Hi.
I love
are-
the glasses.
Thank you. How are you?
I am doing swell.
Good.
Doing
Good to see
awesome.
you.
So talk to us again about, just like Terrell, your article. Why was it important for you to be a part of this edition of Event Therapy Magazine, and what did you write about?
I mean, first, let me just say thank you for having this space, because I think it's so important. I, as somebody who struggles with mental health issues while I was in the wedding industry, very much felt like you could never be a full human in the wedding industry, especially around clients. People, when you talk to people outside the wedding industry, they never believe you when you kind of talk about how unreasonable people can be. And it's like, we saw firsthand what people's behavior was like, and we sort of know how people can react to certain things. So I always felt like, I wasn't able to show up fully. And so I'm now a recovering wedding planner. I have gone back to being an attorney. I, at the beginning of this year, started a law firm with a friend of mine, and we represent small business owners. And the article that I contributed to this issue of the magazine was an empath survival guide to the wedding industry. So as somebody who is an empath and also a highly sensitive person, being a wedding planner was really difficult. I took a lot of stuff personally. I took on other people's energies. I mean, it's our job to solve a lot of people's problems, and there's a lot of involvement in family dynamics and interpersonal relationships between the couple themselves. There's just so much going on. And as Fausto said, we have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. And so it's tough, and it's about realizing, having self-awareness to know where you kind of fall on the spectrum of everything. Oh, I love it. Yeah. So, I thought it was just something really important. I know that like empaths and highly sensitive people is probably a smaller niche of the wedding industry, but being in the wedding and events industry is hard for us. And so I wanted to shed some light on it.
Awesome. Well, there you are. And, we also loved your story too, is that all the things that you just stated is one of the reasons why, or is the reason why I wanted to have this particular article in the magazine, because we are often just, again, going with the flow, and we feel everybody, right?
Yes.
As professionals. So, your article is absolutely amazing, and we're so, so grateful. You didn't share, you're from New York, right?
I am. Yep.
Okay. And so tell me about your business, because I don't think you told us about it.
Yeah. So I started out as separate from the wedding and events industry, started out as an attorney, eventually started my wedding planning company, Color Pop Events, which I ran for 10 years, had my last wedding last October, and then started the law firm at the beginning of this year. So I'm telling everybody I kind of came full circle with everything. But yeah, I feel like there's a whole other article to be written sort of about what was going on in my personal life and the decision to leave the wedding planning role. We very much, my partner Kunbi and I both are very connected to the wedding industry. So that's a lot of the people who we are now serving through the law firm, which is wonderful. Being able to help our former colleagues and friends protect their businesses is really meaningful. But there's a whole other article on the decision I made to stop being a wedding planner.
Well, we would love to read it.
Yes.
Yes. And we are definitely familiar with Kumbi. She was actually a part of our fall winter 2021, I believe, issue. And so, so for those who are, again, watching this, make sure you grab a copy, because not just reading this, but listen to what she's doing even now. We often get stressed because of contracts. We don't know what we supposed to have in there. You know, we went through the pandemic with a lot was happening. Our contracts weren't together. And so people like Humbi and Leah can support us. So these are people that we want to connect with, because if we get the support that we need, it will help us to reduce the stress that we may have on us as professionals in this industry. So thank you so much, Leah.
Thank you for having me.
Being part of this magazine and sharing your words. And again, make sure you write it up, send it to us.
I will.
So we can read it. Okay? Good deal. So we're moving right along. I want to now introduce this other young lady who has been absolutely amazing in this industry as well. I'm sure you all have seen the great things that she's done. Miss Tara Melvin. Tara, let me see if I can find her. There she is. Oh, let me take this down. Again, event. Let me get this down. How are you, Tara?
Hello, Tressa.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Introduce yourself to the audience and share a little bit again as to what you wrote in the magazine and why was it important for you to share it with our audience.
Yes, as you introduced, my name is Tara Melvin. I am an event planner based in the Washington, D.C. metro area. Not only am I an event planner, I'm also the founder of the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals, and then also founder of the Signature CEO Conference. For me, just being in this industry for over 19 years, advocacy and building support around people that look like me and just industry peers has been one of my big passions. And with that big passion went to me founding the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals. And with event therapy, it does go hand in hand with building that support system, because a lot of times we feel like we are that little small person on an island and nobody's coming to save us. I don't have anyone to talk to express my concerns, or just having that person that I can lean into for guidance. And so that is what I aim to do in the industry, and through that with the National Society of Black Wedding and Event Professionals.
Amazing. Well, here is your cover. Well, not cover, but your page there. So you talk about what goes into planning a successful conference like the Signature CEO Conference. And so we wanted to highlight you here. So talk a little bit about just some tips that you shared don't give them everything, Tara, now, but it's just a few tips that you share.
Okay. Well, with the Signature CEO Conference, I can't believe that I'm going into my 9th year. Tressa, thank you for this past year and being in attendance. Just some of the tips that I shared in this is basically leaning in and knowing who it is that you're targeting your audience. And then as you're leaning into who your target audience is, developing and molding a conference where you are identifying the speakers that can reach your audience and have them to be fully engaged the entire time. And then also too, just honing in on those top things that will help them to flourish and grow as business professionals.
Awesome. Well, we thank you for the work that you're doing in the industry and educating all of us. Your conference was absolutely amazing this past year. And so thank you for having me as well. And I met Sarah out there. I met her at Twitter, but I also met her at your event. So thank you so much, Tara. We're going to bring you back a little bit later as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so definitely last but not least from those that have contributed to Event Therapy Magazine, we're going to bring in Miss Sarah, our planner. Sarah of Our Planner, that is, and there she is. Hi, beautiful.
Hi, Teresa. How are you?
I am doing well. So I'm asking the same question that I'm asking everyone first to tell us who you are and why was it important for our planner to share in the Event Therapy Magazine 5th edition.
Absolutely. So again, I will mirror the applause of everybody else who's come on, and thank you for creating a network, creating a platform for people to be able to talk about the stress, the anxiety, the mental health issues that often plague a lot of event professionals. Based on our business model, I mean, we are busy, busy, busy. We tend to be a lot of solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and tend to take a lot of work onto our own shoulders. So I think it's really important to have a platform to be able to discuss what's going on and know that you're not there, you're not alone, that other people are going through the same thing you are going through, and that it will get better, or might have tips and tricks to help share. So really appreciate that. I am Sarah. I'm Director of Sales and Marketing for IL Planner. I've been in the industry now for 14 years. I've worked in all sorts of different verticals within this industry, and came on with IL Planner and really wanted to highlight and explain the value of technology in business to make sure that you are, as a company, as an owner, set up for success, that you are creating or using technology, using the tools available to you within the industry to create clean, concise processes, to streamline your workflow, to, for all intents and purposes, a lot of these tools almost work as a virtual assistant for you and help keep you on task, keep you on schedule, make sure that things aren't falling through the cracks. So we really just wanted to focus on how technology can help your business grow, expand, become more profitable while creating balance for you as the owner, for your employees, and creating just a better work-life experience.
That is beautiful. And we're so glad that you wrote about this, because here your topic was how the right software solution can change your business for the better. And I would even go further and say how it can change you for the better too, because when you have and work with a platform like this, that definitely, again, lifts a lot of stress off of you because of the back end of things that you thought you had to do by hand. You have a program that's your virtual assistant for you to take care of things, automate things, all these different, it's just so helpful. So again, if you have not gone to our website yet and click the little link, okay, you're going to see the beautiful Yvonne. Her picture is there. Make sure you grab it, because this article here talks about the importance of using the right software to support you in your business. So thank you so much, Sarah, for being a part and having our planner to be a part and supporting Event Therapy Network and our mission to bring awareness to mental health and support services for our industry.
Thank you for letting us contribute. We are really, really proud of the opportunity to be able to be a part of this network.
Awesome. Great. So, all right. Thank you, Sarah. So those are some of our contributors for Event Therapy Magazine. I know we're about maybe 10 minutes behind, but here is what we're about to do now. I am super excited about this because we've worked so hard on this magazine, and I wanted to make sure that we chose someone. Every time we do the cover, we always want to make sure that we choose someone that is just doing amazing work in the industry, and that I feel that should be celebrated, that should be honored, that should be saluted, that people can learn from as well. And when we interviewed Miss Yvonne McNair, it was so many things and things in her story or in her interview that I felt like, people should definitely learn more from her. People should be making sure that, our network sees who she is and connect and watches her, because I know that I definitely do. And I just thought she was just perfect. And I sent her a message and she said, yes, yay. So I'm going to bring Yvonne on to talk about her business. And again, the same question, why was it important for her to even be featured in the magazine? And she is with Captivate Marketing Group. Yes.
Hi.
Hi. How are you this evening?
Really
Thank you.
good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited about tonight.
Yes, you should be. I'm super excited to have you. Talk to us about one. How does it feel, one, to be on the cover of Event Therapy magazine?
I mean, it feels amazing. I really appreciate that you reached out. I appreciate being seen. I'm 15 years in my business, but I've been working in the industry for over 20 years. And I work really, really hard. And from the bulk of those years, I tried to really stay behind the scenes, just because of, I work within the entertainment music space. So I tried to stay behind the scenes. And it wasn't until a few years ago where I started saying yes to these types of things. So I'm super excited that, you saw me and wanted to do this for me. So I'm just really excited and appreciative.
Yeah, you're welcome. So if you think about Yvonne, I know it was a while ago that we did our interview. If you could think back to just some of the things that we talked about, um, what would you say will be like some good tips that you can share with those who are aspiring event producers who want to get in the industry? What are some things that maybe that you talked about in your interview that you think that will be supportive for them?
You know what? I was like taking some notes when Dr. Judith was talking because I think that it's perseverance. Being in the event industry can be difficult, and sometimes you do feel like you want to give up. I mean, even for me, being doing this for so long, sometimes it's just really difficult. And I think someone else said it. I didn't write who said it about being on an island. Sometimes you feel like that just in the events industry and being an entrepreneur. So I think that if you want to get in the events industry, you have to understand that it's not an easy journey, but you do have to just persevere. You have to be resilient, and find a good network. I think this is amazing what you're doing, because not a lot of people talk about what it feels to be in the event industry and what it can do to you mentally, and how you can feel for always pouring into others and sometimes not being poured into. So I think this is really incredible that you have this platform. So I think that just creating a network where you can talk to like-minded individuals is so important if you want to work within the events industry.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you shared a lot of great tips, and I'm going to ask you this. I know you said it in the magazine, but I want people to go and read your story.
Mhm.
But we asked you, what would you tell your 13-year-old self right now?
Mhm. I don't even remember what I said because
What would
every
you?
day I think I'm telling myself something different. Um, I think I'm always thinking about something different, but I don't know what I said in the magazine. But like today, what I feel, today, because honestly had a rough couple of months in my business, and because I ventured out to do something and it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. And so, but I also understand that that's part of business. You can't always have all these highs and not expect, some bumps and bruises along the way. So I don't know what I said in the magazine, but I definitely would tell my 13-year-old self not to give up and to just keep pushing through and to have faith and to, just work really hard. And even though when times get hard, remain, keep your integrity and keep your work ethic and don't bend when sometimes it feels like you should do that. So that's what I would probably tell my 13-year-old self, just to never give up. And I never do. So yeah.
But one of the things that you definitely said is not give up, and that you never do. There's nothing that's going to stop you.
Oh, good.
And
Good.
the other thing that you stated, and I remember saying to you, I think this interview, I'm going to say, look at you now. And throughout the whole time, it was like, look at you now, all the great things that you're doing, regardless of whether, you had a bumpy last couple of months or whatever. I saw what you just did, so you also have great highs, and those things motivate others who are in the industry, who are watching you. So we are grateful for you, and we honor you, and we support you, and we are, there for you as a platform. So just let us know. But right now, honey, we want to show everybody the cover of the 5th edition of Event Therapy magazine, featuring Miss Yvonne McNair. Hope y'all ready. There she is.
It's me.
Yeah, that's you. And this is the first time that we had of someone sitting in a couch. I was like, oh, I like this couch.
I love this. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it.
You are so welcome. And because of, the things that you said in your interview, Yvonne, making her mark and securing her place, that's what I gather, is that you've been in the industry over 20 something years, right? You've been doing
Yes.
all these great things. You've had your business for 15. You told me the story of even because Dinkins was just talking about money, about when you had a proposal and not necessarily knowing what you should charge.
Oh, yeah.
And you were going to charge little bitty amount compared to what they would have given you. And
Yes.
so you learned along the way. And so I want everyone to understand, and even for myself, as I talk to me too, is that we learn as we grow in this industry. And as we do, we're making our mark. And that is what you're doing. And then we're always securing our place in various areas. And we're always evolving, right? And so that's what I gather from you, that you're evolving, you're doing amazing things, and you're reclaiming your power. You talked about, your son and all of these things. I'm just kind of hinting to everybody, a little. But you really talked about a lot of things that I think will resonate with other industry professionals who are just trying to figure it out, or trying to make changes, or whatever it is that we're trying to do. And so making her mark and securing her place, I believe that is you, Yvonne McNair, and of Captivate Marketing Group. And I asked you, where did that name come from? So tell everybody, where did that name come from?
What's so funny? I always tell the story about when I decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I kind of just got up and left my cubicle one day. But before I left, I was sitting in my cubicle and I was putting down different names of what I wanted to. And I was like, well, I want to captivate people. And I just wrote out a lot of different names and I sent it to all my friends. And I was like, everybody help me pick a name. And so it was inspired in my cubicle, deciding that I was going to leave corporate America, and all of my friends helped me select the name. Probably not the best way to select a name, but all of my friends helped me as I was getting ready to leave that little cubicle.
Well, your name is telling, because all your events are captivating. They, are very well branded. We know that you have done this events, and you talk about just having your alone space to come up with what the event should look like, and it's always heavily involved with purpose and intention, and that's what we see in your event. So we wanted, again, like I said, to honor, to salute you for the work that you're doing, all the great things that you're going to do with your festival, just with your business, everything. And so we are very grateful, and not just us, but we also had a couple of other people who were grateful for you as well. And so here's one of the pages that we have for you in the MAC. So if you see Miss Nina, you can't read it right now, but you have Miss Nina Flowers and Miss Sonia Evans have shared their message of love with you in the magazine. So once you receive it, you'll be able to read.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yes. And we have another surprise for you, ma'am. So one of them actually took it a step further and provided us with a little video for you.
Oh God! Like, please don't make me emotional.
We love that. So here you are.
Congratulations, Yvonne. Congrats on your cover for Event Therapy magazine. I can't think of a more deserving person. You are the ultimate professional, the consummate events professional, and you are a rock star. Congrats, friend.
That was awesome.
Yes,
she didn't tell me about that.
She didn't?
No.
Very good. That's right. Very good.
She did not.
So
that's
very
awesome.
good.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're so welcome. And so at this time, we're going to, let's see, let me get my phone together. Okay. So this is another little video. So we just want to make sure that everyone get a little, you can't see it at all, but your story again has so many beautiful pages. This is going really fast, so you can't see, but I do think you saw a couple of those pages. So it's very colorful, and I wanted to do that just like I do with others, just because I feel like color invites enthusiasm, it invites joy, and again, with everything that you talked about, we just saw a lot of great things, and we wanted to make sure that we brought as much color as possible in your story. So I cannot wait for you to see it in print. In print.
I can't wait.
So yeah, I'm happy, y'all. Listen,
Thank you.
happy.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You are so welcome. So I'm going to bring on a couple of everyone else to kind of get everybody's reactions, and if they want to share anything with you, Yvonne. So I'm going to bring on Miss Sarah from Owl Planner, Miss Terrell from One Bucket Nation, Miss Leah, Miss Tara, Fausto. Look at all your people, honey. All of our people.
Hi, everyone.
And I'm bringing in one of our advertisers and also supporters as well, Jacqueline Vasquez here. So what do y'all think? How do you feel? What do you think about the cover? All of that. Tell me.
I'll say it's so inviting. You look fabulous on the cover. That red background was just pops, and congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And I just friended you on
empowering.
Facebook.
Awesome.
Very, very empowering. The color red is very, very, very feng shui, so it invites it. It's powerful. It tells a story, so I love it.
Yeah, I think it's a great cover. Very engaging.
I love the color. It's very bold. And I will say, Yvonne, you are a huge, huge inspirer of me. I have been following your work for so many years, and it is people like you that inspire me to continue on in this business as a part of event therapy. Again, sometimes we feel like we're alone on this island, but then when we look at people like you,
yes.
when we look at people like you, even though you said sometimes you have a bad day, but the things that you produce and your work ethic, it inspires people like me. Okay, you had a bad day. Let's keep moving.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I absolutely love it. You look amazing, and I can't wait to continue to follow and learn more about you. But yeah, I'm just like, it's great. I love the color, love everything. Great.
Thank you.
Same here. It's totally empowering, powerful, just classy, and totally amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So we have people on Facebook, as you can see, they're clapping, they're giving hearts, they're saying good stuff being shared here. They're loving it, Yvonne. They're loving you as well. So I'm so glad that people are loving the color and they're loving the red, and they're seeing the power we saw in you, as well as, as why we chose it. So I'm gonna flip the pages again for people in the back. They're gonna flip the pages again for you all. That's the back cover, but just flip the pages again for everyone. So we are again super, super, super excited and grateful for you, Yvonne, and everyone else as well. Thank you all so much for being a contributor of Event Therapy Magazine and helping us to push the mission, the idea, the awareness of mental health. Again, our industry is an industry that I think is fun, right? It's supposed to be fun, or we do weddings, we do all these beautiful fun things. But we are also people, right? So we are also dealing with things. We have hard months. We have, not so hard months. We have situations in our lives that, grief. We have so many different things. And so I wanted to make sure that we have a platform where we can feel safe, right? And that we can network with others, that we can learn with and from others as well. We have an event therapy lounge that I know Sarah and Fausto was a part of when we did Cater Source, where it's just a simple place where we learn how to use our stress ball, honey. We got stress balls over here. This one says, I am my only limit here. So we teach you how to use meditation, how to use your breathing strategies, even if you're at an event. How do we decompress, and what do we do once the events are over, right? How are we handling ourselves? So this is very important, I think, because like I remember, again, Yvonne, I remember your story. You go from one event to the next event. All of us do that. We go from one event to the next event, go, taking phone calls, all of these different things. But when do we take the time to kind of settle in and debrief from those events? And so here at Event Therapy Network, we want to teach ourselves how to debrief from these events, how to spend time with ourselves, positive time, how to shake event warfare. What is event warfare? How can we shake event warfare? All of these different things. So we have a lounge, and we have networks. We do one-on-one sessions as well. So, the magazine is just one piece of the pie. We have so many other things that we are looking to do, and that we are inviting each and every one of you to be a part of. With this magazine for everyone, we don't just talk to, as you see, event planners and producers and designers. We also, and we don't talk just about events either. We talk about things that we go through, right? And so Miss Jackie here, she was in our previous magazine with Fausto as the cover, and she talked about some things that I thought was very important for us. And Jackie, real quick, can you share a little bit of about what you share and why it was important for you to use a platform like Event Therapy to share your story?
Well, thank you again. And the first thing that I'll share is Fausto mentioned something earlier, which was, you gave us the platform, because my experience goes back 30 years ago, where I found out that I was suffering and battling infertility. And that was something that here I am, an event planner, starting off in event planning, and I'm planning baby showers. And I'm like, okay, what? I just found out that I'm going through infertility. And that was one of the hardest journeys and paths that I had experienced for 10 years while I was becoming an event planner and taking that journey and taking my business to the next level. So 30 years later, I'm over here thinking I want to create a platform and be a resource for others who might be going through the journey. And when I saw your magazine and spoke to you, I was like, this is it. This is the place that I can really share my story, but also empower others who are going through that journey and saying it's okay, because everyone goes through it differently. And whether you're going through it or someone, it was more about sharing and also giving people the tips and tools on how to walk through the journey, but also how to help someone else.
Yeah. And this is her ad in our magazine, this particular issue. So this is her ad right here. So she does have a podcast. So we want to make sure that we are connecting with Jackie as well, to talk about things on her podcast and just support her as well. So Jackie, thank you so much for being a part and for, again, just like everybody, like helping us to push the mission, helping us to stay relevant in our industry, even though the pandemic, quote unquote, is over. I guess I don't know what's happening, but it's whatever's happening right now. But this is a great time for us to keep talking about mental health. When the pandemic came, everybody was talking about it. Everybody had something to say, and everybody wanted to do something. Everybody had a platform. But when our industry opened back up, it seemed like things got a little bit quieter and quieter and quieter. We want to keep that conversation going and keep the support going as well. So in this magazine, we are call to action is we're called to action for contributors, but most importantly, and I hate to say most important, but it is very important for us to stay moving, right? Is advertisers. So we're looking for advertisers in our magazine. Fausto would tell you right now that never would have made it if I didn't have.
You need advertisers. Advertising dollars count.
Yeah. It's very. I'm an event producer, so what am I doing a magazine? But when God gives you something, you go with it, right? And so here we are, because I definitely have wanted to quit several times, but I had people like Fausto to say, "Girl, you're not doing that. We're gonna keep this thing moving." And so we want to call to action for contributors, call to action for people who, if you can't advertise, repost for us, share it with other people, put the magazine somewhere in your platform, help us to get the word out, let other people know what we are doing, why we are doing it, and how we are doing it. Help me help others. That's my thing. Help me help others, right? And so I am so grateful for this mag, and just for everybody to know, part of our proceeds do support my nonprofit. My nonprofit is Charge Up Campaign. We support the mental health of those who are dealing with cancer and their caregivers as well. We actually have an upcoming brunch. So for those who are watching this, if you're in Atlanta, come on out to that event that's on November 19th, where we're celebrating caregivers. And it's a fundraiser for the organization. So we do have that. That's happening. And again, part of our proceeds with the magazine do support Charge Up Campaign. It's a 501c3 organization. And we don't want to leave today without honoring and thanking all the photographers who have shared their photos with us. So these are some of the photographers that have taken these beautiful pictures for the magazine. So all of that is actually in this edition as well. So, and lastly, one last advertisement, I got to put it out there. The mental detox box. We are about to head on to December, and it is a time where things get kind of a little crazy a bit, and so we need to detox, right? We need to be able to pull ourselves together. So we do have a mental detox box, Event Therapy does, that will help you to relax. It's a foot moisturizer, a common mist that you can spray in the car once your event is over, or spray it on your pillow so that you can get a good night's rest. And then rub your feet, because we all know how it is after events, right? And so we have a mental detox box that is available for everyone. So again, that is what we have. We are again so grateful, so thankful for Yvonne, for all of the contributors, and also for our creative designer, Zane. Zane has been with me for all of these issues. All of these issues with the magazine. And so he helped me to come up with the colors and make sure that each page just flows with the next page. Also want to thank Sean, who's in the background right now, backstage with the support, Jamila, Dr. Fletcher, and of course, Ebony King as well for supporting, Fausto and Ruben for listening to my cries, So yes, go ahead, Fausto. Hey, Ruben.
I wanted to say one last thing before all of us that are on this tonight, we are stewards for this new group of people that are coming in, regardless of where you're at, and we have to leave it better than the way we got it. And I think that that's what we're all doing, because we're seeing this next generation of event people coming in, and I don't feel that they're as prepared, but we are getting them prepared. I don't know if that resonates with everybody on here, but I do feel that that's what we're doing. That's just my 2 cents, and I thank you for having this for all of us.
Awesome. Thank you, Fausto, as well. Again, I appreciate everyone for your support. Make sure you're sharing with others, inviting them to go to the website to order the magazine. Right now it just has Yvonne's picture. I'm going to go and update it so that now we can share the cover on the website. So the website is eventtherapynetwork.com. You can click the little shop button and go ahead and order the digital and or print copy for everyone here. You all will be receiving your digital copy as well. So if all hearts are good, then we are done for this evening. And again, thank you so much. Anybody have anything that you would like to share before we release?
I was just going to say, I'm now talking to all of you guys and hearing about what is going to be in this issue. I'm very, very excited to actually get it in my hands and have the opportunity to sit down and work through it.
Good, 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 good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again so much for being a part. And I look forward to speaking with you all. Make sure you connect with us because we do want to interview you, each of you, on social media, so you can talk a little bit more deeply about your stories. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good deal. All right, all right, all right. So I am happy. I am very happy. And I hope you all are happy as well to see the product, what we've been working on for the last few months here. This has been definitely a labor of love, and we're definitely grateful for just all of the contributors, the advertisers. Again, call to action is for advertisers. Call to action is for contributors, for those who would like to be a part of our mission of honoring, supporting those who are on the cover, but also sharing great information, whether that be tips, whether it be your stories, whether it be whatever it is that's going to support others. We are definitely excited about that. So with all that being said, I'm going to play this last video, and we're going to go ahead and get the website together so that you can order the magazine. You will also be able to find the magazine on Amazon in the next couple of days. So you can definitely follow us on Instagram, Event Therapy Network, or Event Therapy Magazine. You'll be able to find the link there. So Event Therapy Network on IG and Facebook, and you can find the link to purchasing the magazine there, as well as our website, of course, which is eventtherapynetwork.com. If you have questions about being a part of Event Therapy, simply DM me or contact us via email, which is hello@eventtherapynetwork.com, or you can, again, go to our website. So thank you all so much for being a part and for supporting the mission of Event Therapy Network.
Often invite you to close your eyes, or you can actually open them in a soft gaze if you're uncomfortable closing your eyes. So just notice the stillness in the room. Okay? If you happen to have any illuminating thoughts, just let them be, let them float.
I'm Teresa Sawyer. I am the founder of the Event Therapy Network, and I thank you all so much for coming out to our first Out to Business Network event. I want to make sure that this evening that you're not just talking with people that you already know. Okay, we want to make sure that you get a chance to get up and mix and mingle, talk with the vendors, and really get a chance to get to know someone else that you didn't know when you walked in. You know, what are 3 keys to maintaining happiness in the event industry? Because we know it can get a little tricky.
And I just want to say, I've been at every end of the spectrum, right? I've been at the end where I was burning the candles at both ends. My marriage suffered, my personal health suffered, and you just have to get to a point where you're like, it's not worth it. And there's no rule that if you grow slowly that your business can't grow.
I am the owner of SC Visionary Planning and Production Services, where we produce events that make sense. So we primarily focus on events that are going to be cost-based, events that are going to really tug at someone's heart, someone's soul.
How you doing? I'm Thomas Latson, therapist, LPC here in Atlanta. We had a great time tonight at Simple Teresa's event therapy. I think it's great that people in this industry can come together and share how we make it.
Good deal.